You will never be free if you rent your mind to other people. Most human anxiety does not come from danger, hunger, or real survival threats. It comes from something quieter, more invisible, yet far more controlling. The fear of being judged, the fear of being misunderstood, the fear of not being accepted. From a young age, we are trained to perform, to adjust our tone, to soften our opinions, to hide parts of ourselves, all so that strangers, colleagues, relatives, and even people we will never see again can feel comfortable with who we are. The Stoics saw this as a kind of mental slavery. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who ruled much of the known world, wrote in his private journal, "I do my duty, other things do not trouble me. Not praise, not criticism, not reputation, not rumors, only duty, only character, only what is in his control." And that is where Stoic freedom begins. The Stoic philosophers divided life into two simple categories: what you can control and what you cannot. You can control your actions. You can control your effort. You can control your values. You can control how you respond. You cannot control opinions. You cannot control gossip. You cannot control misunderstandings. You cannot control how people interpret your intentions. Yet most people live as if the second category is more important than the first. They hesitate before speaking the truth. They dilute their goals to avoid standing out. They abandon their standards to fit in. They trade authenticity for temporary approval. Every time you seek validation, you silently hand your power to someone else. You become dependent on moods you cannot predict and standards you did not choose. Your emotional state becomes a hostage to other people's reactions. Epictetus, who was born a slave and became one of history's greatest Stoic teachers, warned about this. If you want to be invincible, make sure no one can harm you by their opinion. Think about what that means. If someone insults you, but you do not accept their judgment, nothing is damaged. If someone praises you, but you do not depend on their approval, nothing inflates. You remain steady. Most suffering does not come from what happens. It comes from the story we tell ourselves about what it means. A comment becomes an identity. A rejection becomes a verdict. A rumor becomes a life sentence. But these are illusions. Other people do not live inside your mind. They do not carry your responsibilities. They do not pay the price of your long-term decisions. Yet we often allow them to shape our self-worth as if they were judges in a permanent court. Stoicism offers a radical alternative. Do what is right. Accept the outcome. Release attachment to applause or condemnation. This does not mean becoming cold or careless. It does not mean ignoring feedback or becoming arrogant. It means choosing principles over popularity. There is a quiet strength in that. When someone dislikes you, you do not collapse. When someone misunderstands you, you do not beg to be reinterpreted. When someone mocks your path, you do not abandon it. You simply continue. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." How many dreams have died not because they were impossible, but because they were unpopular? How many talents have been buried under the weight of "what will they think"? How many lives have been quietly postponed for a permission slip that never arrives? The Stoic answer is simple and uncomfortable. No one is coming to approve your existence, and they don't need to. You were not designed to be a reflection of the crowd. You were designed to be a steward of your own character. When you stop caring what people think, something strange happens inside you. Your speech becomes cleaner. Your decisions become faster. Your posture becomes calmer. Your sleep becomes deeper. You stop rehearsing conversations that will never happen. You stop defending choices that need no defense. You stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You begin to act from alignment instead of anxiety. This is what the Stoics called inner citadel, a mental fortress that cannot be invaded by praise or destroyed by criticism. Inside this fortress, your worth is measured only by one standard. Did I act according to my values today? Not, was I admired? Was I approved? Was I applauded? But was I honest? Was I disciplined? Was I just? Was I courageous? That is a scoreboard you control. Of course, people will still judge you. They will call you strange when you grow. They will call you arrogant when you set boundaries. They will call you cold when you stop begging for approval. They will call you lucky when they did not see the years of discipline. Let them. A person who lives for opinions will always be owned by them. A person who lives for principles cannot be owned. There is a deep peace in knowing that your identity does not require an audience. You can walk alone without feeling lonely. You can be silent without feeling invisible. You can be different without feeling wrong. This is not isolation. This is independence. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present." Those weapons are self-mastery, perspective, discipline, acceptance, not approval. So the next time your chest tightens because someone might judge you, the next time you hesitate because you might look foolish, the next time you shrink yourself to fit into someone else's comfort, pause. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If not, release it. Do your work. Speak your truth. Hold your standards. Walk your path. Quietly, relentlessly, without asking for permission. That is Stoic freedom. Not loud, not arrogant, not dramatic. Just unshakable. And remember this, even the people you are afraid of disappointing are trapped in their own fears. They worry about opinions just like you do. They are fighting invisible battles, seeking approval from others who are also uncertain and fragile. Do not build your life on such unstable ground. Build it on what does not shake: your values, your effort, your integrity. Years from now, no one will remember the small judgments that once kept you awake at night, but you will remember whether you betrayed yourself or stood firm. Freedom is not doing whatever you want. Freedom is no longer needing permission to be who you are. And that kind of freedom is rare, quiet, and unstoppable. You will notice something else as this mindset settles into you. Your circle will become smaller, not because you are better than others, but because you are no longer available for shallow connections built on approval and performance. Some people will drift away when they realize they can no longer control you with guilt, praise, or criticism. That is not loss. That is clarity. What remains will be real, calm, respectful, and even if you walk alone for a while, you will walk with your spine straight and your conscience clean. A lonely path with self-respect is infinitely richer than a crowded life built on pretending. This is the final lesson of Stoicism. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be whole.